What's up guys, Stang Lover here, and today I'm actually going to do some solo commentary on Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai. Unfortunately, Trevor is the only one that has this game, and he's not at home right now, he's in town, so it will just be me today. I hope, you guys can deal with that, but Total War Shogun 2. Now, this is based in the 1860s in Japan. It's based on one of their civil wars, because they had several. And basically, you have, for those of you who don't know, you have the choice between two teams: the Imperial, which are these guys over here. These guys are the ones that you can play as the Imperial, or the Shogun, which are these three that you can play as right here. Now, of course, there are a lot more clans than this. These are just the ones that I can play as because I don't have any of the DLCs. Now, if you go as a Shogunate, the majority of the time the Shogunates are... Hang on, let me turn down that music. Oh, it doesn't have it here. Hang on, I gotta go back to the... options, sound. Here we go. Master, turn that all the way down. There we go. Okay, now you guys should be able to hear me. Anyway. Oops. Okay, why is that not working? There we go. Dang it. There we go. Okay. There are a lot more clans than this, if you have DLCs that you can play as. But anyway, typically if you go for a Shogunate, they're going to be more traditional. They're going to have, like, more traditional units. I mean, they will still have, muskets and stuff. But they follow a slightly more traditional route. They have, I think they actually get bonuses for, like, melee units, like Katana Kachi, which are, like your basic samurai. They run around with katanas. In fact, Katana Kachi actually means basically means foot soldier with a katana. That's what Kachi means. But if you go for the Imperial, you're basically backing the Emperor. These are more westernized. They have better guns. They can get artillery a lot easier. Now, I mean, of course, both sides have their advantages. Obviously, if you're the Imperials, you're a little bit richer. You have more cannons, more stuff like that. But if you play as the Shogunate, you get a certain kind of bonus because your melee units are actually far superior to the melee units of the Imperials, because the Imperials don't really focus on melee units. Now, I'm actually going to play as a Shogunate, I believe, because I usually like to play as Shogunates. And I'm actually going to play as the Josei. Josei start out right here. They have only one province when they start out. Their initial difficulty is easy. I would recommend this, either the Josei or the Satsuma on the Imperial side, to anyone who is, just starting out in the game. And, just getting into it, to learn the basics. I'm actually going to set it to long campaign. And for those of you who have never really played a Total War game, this will probably be a pretty cool experience for you, as it was for me when I first played a Total War game. And the fact that it has very realistic battles that you can actually control your units. Like, I know it doesn't sound like much right now, but wait till once you see, you'll understand what I mean. And another thing is the loading screens. They take forever, but generally great game. They actually have... This is actually the second to newest one. This is the second newest Total War game. The newest one is, of course, Rome 2, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen advertised. Unfortunately, for me, it wasn't all that great. I played it with Trevor. He has it on his computer. I played it at his house one time, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't what Shogun was. Shogun was, for me at least, a lot better. Okay, so you start out right here. Yeah, you have your entire map up here of Japan, and you know, certain people you can ally with. I think. Okay, that's Saga. Saga is actually one of my enemies. I don't know why it's showing me their map. Anyway, so I actually start out on this little peninsula area right here, and anytime you start a game, you will always be at war with at least one person. So it basically throws you into the battle pretty quick. Yeah, okay. And if you have navies, you can set them up outside of towns, and you can actually use them to bombard. And say you're sieging a town, and the besieged enemy decides to attack you in a last effort, you can actually get naval support for that. Unfortunately, right now, I'm not actually going to attack because I will suffer winter attrition because, you know, it's only like halfway through winter. But I will be recruiting some more people real quick. Let's see, what do I... Oops. And it's fairly important as soon as the game starts to increase your revenue, because as your army gets bigger, you will have problems with upkeep. Each unit has a set amount of upkeep, and you get a big enough army and you don't have the revenue, and you will eventually go into debt. It's just plain and simple. This game really focuses on resource management, army management as well. It's just a really fun game. I really enjoy playing it. I enjoy playing it with Trevor. If we can, I will try and see if we can get a multiplayer game going. However, it'll probably be we'll probably be against each other. We'll probably start out like way away from each other. Because if you do like cooperative, it's not as fun. Just it doesn't have that, you know, that lore, you know, of being able to take down, you know, your buddy who's halfway across the map. But anyway, so I'm gonna continue doing this real quick. I still have 2,000 bucks in my treasury. Give me another group of levy infantry. I want a lot of shooters. Do I have a lot of... I've got 3 melee units. Give me another group of Yarikachi. Okay, so that's done, and my infrastructure is slowly building. Now this guy, he's called a shinobi. He's basically like, I guess you could say he's like an assassin, but he also has different jobs. He can like sabotage gates, so that if you were to attack a fortress, the gates would already be taken down, and it'd be a lot easier to get through and conquer your enemy. Or there's a few things he can do. He can sabotage an army, which basically means I don't know what. See, sabotage army. The army will halt its movement for one season and kill a few of its men. So basically, they're going to stop moving. They are going to start killing each other. Not very many will die, but they'll start wounding and killing each other, and that's actually a really, really nice thing sometimes. So I'm actually going to try and get him to do that. See if it works. It had a 50% chance, so... Army sabotage failed. Okay. That's okay. We'll try and get it next time, so I'm going to go ahead and intern. And there's a lot of clans, so a lot of times it's gonna be a while. Yeah, as you can see, this the clans going across the top. And what's cool is eventually, if you get like a trade port, you can trade resources with either the French, the British, or the Americans. I generally tend to trade with the Americans, just because if I gain the Americans' trust, I can get American Marines, and those guys can kick some serious butt. I mean, they are really good, and you get like 2 or 3 units of them. Unfortunately, you know, they kind of limit you on what you can get, or like the number. But I just thought of something. If I trade with the British, I can actually get warrior class ironclads, which are the biggest and baddest boat in the game. So I might actually trade with the British this time, just because I can get those ironclads, and those are going to be nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end turn. As you can tell how many units are in an army by the number of stripes on their flag. And if they're in a town like this, you'll see, oops, okay, hang on. Shinobi detected. Okay, that's fine. And you'll notice like these little gray lines up here. All that is basically just, that's basically like garrison units. Like, say you were to pull your army out, or I was to pull my army out, and this guy right here this bad guy right here came around and decided to attack my city. Those garrison units would be there even though my army wasn't, and they would be somewhat of a last defense. Okay, Choshu died. Yeah, Choshu always dies unless I play as him. I don't know why. They're usually like the first to die, and then Sue is usually next. Okay, looks like after this next turn, it will be spring, and we can actually attack. So, And what sucks is as you discover more of the world, it actually shows oops, why did I go way off? Anyway, it actually shows the different clans' moves, and it gets really monotonous whenever you have like 10 clans that you see, and each of their moves takes like 10 minutes. It starts getting like really, really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull my army out, put them right on the border, because next turn it is spring. Oh, okay, he's pulling them up. He's pulling his guys out on the border too. Okay, it's officially spring, so now we can actually attack people. Okay, so what I want to do first, bombard, failed to cause any damage. Okay. All right, move the army in. Now this is what I mean by, oh, he retreated. Wait, do I have more? I do. Oh, my yard. Okay, pull him over. Okay, so I can't actually attack him because my armies unfortunately have a set amount that they can move, and I just kind of used all that up whenever I moved the Yarikachi in. So it'll probably be next turn before I actually fight, unless he decides to try and come at me now, which I doubt he'll do, but it's very possible. Yeah, okay, he ran back into a city. Now let's see what else. Archinobi detected. I already know this, okay. Bombard. Okay, I got 20 of his Matlock Kachi. That's good. Now we are going to siege. I could actually take him on, but it would be a lot bloodier battle. So I'm actually just going to try and starve him out. And eventually he's just going to haul out and come straight at me. And I can just set up shop and have my shooters out in front and just have them fire on him constantly. and it'd be a lot easier win for me. Eager to serve. Nah, because I already have 2 generals. Both of them are in the same army. 21 of his Matlock Kachi. That's good. Construction complete. Oh, sweet. Okay, so I'm actually getting more revenue in this place. That'll probably be the next thing that we do, the commercial farms. And I can get more revenue that way. Oh. Okay, so my, eventually I will be going to, Lubbock, which is where I actually live outside of, Lubbock, Texas. And I do have a little bit of cash, so, I might actually just go to, like, Walmart or something and get a, oh, sweet, when you research arms is, okay, and, I might just go and, try and find a mic so that, you guys can hear me better and it doesn't sound like, you know, complete crap. Can't guarantee anything though, but eventually I will be able to pay for another mic instead of having to use this thing, because I know it does get annoying. Oh, okay, he's coming out towards me. Yeah, I think I got this one, but it's not. Let's not assume anything too quickly. Oh, and as you go into a battle, the loading screen will actually show you a map of the battlefield, and you can plan ahead and do all this other stuff. Okay, so he actually has a hill advantage, but he's attacking me, so he's gonna have to move towards me. So it looks like I have a little bit of high ground, like right there. I mean, I could set my shooters up on that and just wait for him to come up over the hill and just start shredding him as he tries to run towards me. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's not much of a difference as far as elevation. However, I am kind of down in like a little slump, so I'm probably going to change that. I'll probably just put all my shooters like right here. Have my melee unit set up behind him. Who's that? Oh, those are my sharpshooters. Those are the Yogitai. Those guys right there. I forgot, those guys actually get a head start bonus. Okay, so I'm actually going to pause. Okay. Now, let's see. Shift. Okay, and let's see what he's got up front. Shooter, 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 and a shooter. Then he's got his melee units behind, and he's got 1 cav unit. Okay, so I should be able to win this. This shouldn't be too hard, but I probably will lose a couple of 100 guys. But that's not, you know, saying too much. Okay, so I'm actually going to spread my... hang on. Oops. A tip, when you do play this game, the more you spread out your shooter unit... whoa. What just happened? Oh, stupid spam mail. Anyway, the more you spread out your shooters, the more they can actually shoot, the more they can lay down fire. If you leave them bunched up like this, not very many of them can shoot. So you kind of want to have them really spread out like this. And since your lines are so thin, you're going to want your melee units kind of set up shop right behind them. Not as wide, but pretty wide. About right there, it's probably good. You want them to kind of set up shop right behind them. And then, of course, the cav's going to hang back. Because if I lose my general... Oops. Because if I lose my general, I will have a major drop in morale. So, let's go. Oh, and another tip, you don't really want to run your guys too much. I mean, I'm running them now just so that they can get set up pretty quick. But you don't want to run your guys too much because they will get tired. And the tireder they get, the more morale they lose, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Because they lose morale, they stop fighting as hard. They're like, why are we doing this for this guy? And yeah. Oh, okay, I thought they were going to stop a lot closer. Pull him up. Okay. Get these guys, get all my guys, and okay, they're not in loose formation. Toggle melee mode. That's one thing that you can do. If you have shooters, you can actually put them in melee mode. They're not as good in melee, however, they do defend themselves a little bit better if someone is rushing at them. However, it does take a little bit of time to set up, so you probably want to call it in advance. And the volleys begin. This is what I meant by you can control your units. He's setting up shop, and he's getting murdered. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Knock back those cavalry. Knock back those cav. Knock them back, knock them back, knock them back. Okay. They busted through. Guys need to go in and take out some of these melee units for these guys. Get them off them. Okay, I actually have them almost routing. This is good. Turn and shoot. Yeah, some of them are routing. Okay, this is great. That was pretty quick. Yep, there they go. They're running. What are you guys doing? No. Don't walk into the crossfire. Come back here. Don't walk into the crossfire. You retards. Yeah, they're all routing. Okay. So now that they're all routing, we pause. And we take the cav, and we basically just send the cav to hunt them down and slaughter them. Just so that I don't have to deal with this again. And it'll actually take a little bit for them to get there, but not too bad. Continue so that I can... No, pull back. Hey, what do you... Get back here. Because I don't want you guys... Okay. And there go the cav. Charge! Whee! And now it's just kind of a waiting game. Either all of the units are destroyed, which is very unlikely in this case because there are just over 1,000 men versus about, looks like, just over like 150. So what's probably going to happen is some of them are going to get to the border. Once they get to the border, the battle is officially over. Oh, okay, they're already done. Now go for these guys. And you can just... Here, let me try and zoom in on this. What's cool is when you zoom in, they actually look really realistic. Not as of right now, because they don't look completely realistic, but for, little computer generated figures as small as these, look at them. They look really good for little figures. That guy just got jack slapped. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why, because a while back that disappeared on me for some reason, and I was wondering why it did, but now I think I figured it out. Okay, they got a pretty big unit over here. Let's see if we can't get to them quickly. They're not too close to the border. Yeah, those guys are pretty close to the border, so I don't think we're going to catch them. But we should catch the others. We should catch the others. Actually, you go after these punks, since you're closer. Go! He should get there pretty quickly. Do. See, this is kind of the boring part, but it's a necessary part because you really don't want to have to deal with another, another group of them coming at you. The more men you can take out, the better, because if they do stage a second attack, you'll have to deal with more units again, and it just gets really annoying. So this is actually a very important part. You can choose the option just to go ahead and end the battle whenever they retreat. I generally don't, because I like to try and kill off as many as I can so that they don't try and what's that? Oh, that's an old reminder. Anyway, okay, decisive victory. Look at that, end battle. And you do actually have the option to save the replays if you really want to. Like you think, wow, that was a really cool battle. I want to save that so I can show my friends later. You can do that. I actually do that quite a bit. Let's see. They lost 804. I lost 119. They have 264 remaining. I have just over 1,400 remaining. So we're probably going to have to fight them again, which is, but this time it'll be even easier because they only have just over 250 men. So, I mean, it's going to be even easier than the last time. Last time was pretty easy. I was actually surprised. I was surprised myself with how easy it was. But, yeah. It's going to be so much easier now because I killed off a lot of their units. And he's coming back out. Let's see. Yeah, he has 285 units. I have 1,435. That's going to be a pretty easy battle. I'll probably kill like 10 men. When the armies are this small that you're going up against, usually what happens is you kill like 20 of their guys in one unit, and then they give up and start running. So it's kind of a pointless battle, but it's something you just kind of have to deal with. But if you kill, I think if you get them below 100 is the threshold. If you get them below 100 units, you can choose what you want to do with the town. I generally choose to peacefully occupy it, but it does give you the option to loot, and there was one other option, but I can't remember what it is. Since he's moving. Since he's the aggressor, he's moving towards me. But I generally tend to press peacefully occupy because I do eventually get more revenue in the long run if I do upgrade the town. So I generally try and keep as many of those as I can. Trevor does the same thing, but he actually does loot a little bit more. Which basically, you get a pretty good amount of gold from it, and you basically burn the town, But I've never actually done it, so I don't really know what happens after that. He'd have to tell you if we do like a multiplayer, or you can find out on your own. Okay. See, I'm actually just, just kind of sitting here. I'm actually going to move these guys back, because since they're kind of out in front, they might, take a beating. And I really don't want that to happen to my Yuge. I always forget how to say this. You get Kitai, I guess, yeah. Okay, hang on, one of my buddies has actually texted me. I know this seems real professional, but it's actually a buddy I haven't talked to in a very long time. He lives down in Caldwell now, which is where I used to live. It's where Kyle and Ty live, and where Will Cyberkirk lives. He's actually one of my buddies too. But I moved away there just right before Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas. And I moved about 9 hours or 10 hours away. And yeah, it's been rough. But I still talk to a lot of the guys. And I still go down there every once in a while, and I meet up with them and have bro parties, do stuff like that. Hang on just 1 second. This is actually one of my mechanic buddies. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually an aspiring mechanic. Aside from this, one of my biggest hobbies is auto restoration. I love working with cars. I love taking them apart, getting them to run again. In fact, my first car, which I can't even drive yet because I'm only 15, but my first car, which is not here at my house, it's actually at my uncle's house, who's just on the other side of town. It's a 71 Torino 500. It's my pride and joy. I love the thing to death. It's like I don't know if it's faded because of its old age, but it's like a mustard yellow, and it originally had a 250 straight 6-cylinder engine, which if you guys know, it's a decent, if you guys kind of revel in the in auto mechanics as well, that's a decent engine. But for that car, that car is extremely heavy. And hang on just 1 second. He's still texting me. Let me try and get him to stop real quick. Okay, so that should stop him for a little bit. Anyway, but that car is extremely heavy. It's built like a tank. I mean, it's it's a 70s muscle car. So I mean, it's heavy. It's like all steel. And well, when I first got it, the initial problem was that the 250 straight 6 that it had in it had thrown a rod and sent parts, pieces of metal, flying through the bottom of the oil pan, and actually left a pretty big hole in the bottom of the oil pan. So I had to get that. So I had to find a new engine. I could have stuck with that one, but it would have just been like crazy to try and find a. It would have been crazy, just to try and find one or someone who could fix it. So I tried to find another 250 straight 6 just so I could get it running, and then eventually once I got a little bit more cash, I could work on it. Okay, Trevor's here actually. I'll actually add him to the call here in a second. Once I got a little bit more cash, I would have been able to do a little bit more with it and make it the way I wanted it. And so I eventually did find a 250 straight 6. The guy told me it had been running, and I want to say this like about 2 or 3 months ago. Dad had to come in there and help me because this thing was like extremely heavy. But we pulled the head off. We pulled the head of the engine off, and oops, okay, these guys are routing. Let me pull my cab up real quick. Oh, okay, Trev's calling. Hang on, let me get to Skype real quick. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I'm actually recording some Shogun right now. Did you hear me? Hey, Trev. Oh, I guess the call dropped. Okay. Try that one more time. Sorry, guys. I just want to talk to Trevor because I haven't really gotten to in a while. My computer was crapping out on me. Hey, sorry, what was that?
The call dropped.
Okay, did you hear what I said, though?
No.
I'm actually recording some Shogun right now.
Am I interrupting?
No, you're fine. I already said earlier that I was going to add you to the call. So, I'm just going along in a battle right now.
Who are you playing as?
The Josei.
The Josei.
I figured it was probably the easiest, start, just because it's it's a pretty easy clan to play as, to learn the basics. So I figured I'd go ahead and start with that.
Yep. So are we gonna play some CK2 in a little bit, or what?
Well, Will and Ty were on a second ago. They had to go do something, but they said they were gonna meet up somewhere. But they said that they were gonna want to record some Minecraft. So depending on how long whatever they were doing takes them, we might just do some Minecraft and then later do some CK2.
Alright, and you gonna be able to play some tomorrow?
Yeah. Just at 6. Both days, today, tomorrow, and all the way through Thursday. At 6, I'm gonna have to get off because I have to go work out. That's the only thing.
I guess I should probably let you go back to narrating your game for a second.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm actually gonna cut it off after this battle. I'm just running down some of the last guys.
Who are you fighting right now?
That first clan. I don't know what their name is. That first clan that you fight as the Josei. They literally only have about 8 men left. I'm just running them down. What? Why are these guys moving? Hang on. Un momento. Why are you guys doing this? Where'd those guys go? Oh, I guess they're dead. Oh, wait, no, they're not. They're right there on the border. Oh, well. Anyway. This battle should be over here in just a second. And then I'm just going to cut it off. And, okay. This is pretty funny. I don't know if it's a game glitch or what, but it looks like the last remaining troops of his were running across the water, like of a huge lake. It was pretty funny. They were just like do.
That's weird. I've never had that happen before.
It was like right on the border too, though. I mean,
I think
it might have been like world generation problem.
Yeah, I think the borders kind of get glitchy there sometimes. Have you talked about why you're not doing Rome yet, or no?
Yeah, I mentioned it in this video. Okay, so now I actually have the oh, make vassal. That was the other one that I couldn't remember. I'm gonna peacefully occupy our shinobi detective. That doesn't matter because he's not there anymore because it's mine now. Okay.
I think I heard. Well, I
Go
heard
ahead.
the next Total War is going to be Medieval 3. I really want to get that. I have Medieval 2, but it's not that great because if it's not owned by one of the major powers that you can play as, it's a rebel settlement, which kind of gets boring, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's no small people. It's stupid.
Okay.
But whatever.
Now, if you click the option to peacefully occupy, what you want to do is for a while you're going to want to leave your army in that province just because of the fact, let me pull the interface up real quick. See, under the summary it says allegiance, 86.2% is pro-emperor. I'm pro-shogun and only 13.8%. If I decide to leave the town, they are going to revolt against me. And then I'll have an even bigger problem on my hands. So I'm just gonna have to sit here for a little while in this town, and then we can move on to the next one.
And even in towns that are like pro Shogun or whatever, you still want to leave a few troops as garrison there so they don't get unhappy because of taxes and stuff.
Yeah, that's another problem. The populace can sometimes get unhappy, which will also send them into revolt. So it's wise to leave, you know, 1 or 2 troops in the town. Now in your first town, it's not really necessary unless you change like your tax laws or any law that might affect your first province. Like right now,
But still have your troops there though, because that's your capital. And if you lose that, then
well, I mean, I have garrison. I have a lot of garrison there.
Yeah, but
anyway, see, like I don't really have any main troops in there, and it's still positive 1 happiness. So, okay, well, I'm gonna actually have to cut it off right here, guys. I will be playing more of this. Maybe even a little bit with Trevor as a multiplayer game. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Do what?
Possibly head to head, maybe if we.
Yeah, head to head, more than likely because co-op is just not that fun.
No, it's not. Okay, goodbye, guys.
Yeah, see you guys.